Hi, everybody. Welcome to Beyond the Batcast, where I, Adam Epper, sit down with Braydon Kenny to talk about Batman, the animated series. And this week's episode is Deep Freeze. How you doing today, sir?
Dick Jones was right. The old man from RoboCop really was the villain.
Yeah, I think I saw that at Cineplex a couple years ago. Like the director's cut, it was playing like where they randomly do like a old movie there every so often. I think that was one like probably 2, 3 years ago, probably about 3 years ago now. Yeah, I know it was fun, but I definitely do. I wouldn't have picked up on the voice even after you had mentioned that earlier. I don't think I would recognize it. Even I'm usually pretty good with picking up voices that I've heard before, so I didn't recognize the voice at all. So definitely wouldn't have picked that up otherwise. But as I said, this week's episode is Deep Freeze is the 84th episode produced and the 80th episode to air, having it air November 26th, 1994. So I was well into grade 9 at this point, and you're probably what, just starting school at this point.
Yeah, sounds about right.
And no, I don't think you're that much younger than me. So, but yeah, it's the teleplay is by Paul Dini, and the story is by Paul Dini and Bruce Timm. So if everyone liked this episode, that's probably why. But I do remember that this episode did stick out. So, but I didn't realize it was this deep into the series because this is like the second to last episode of the OG Batman the Animated Series, and it was directed by Kevin Altieri. And I finally did look it up, and Kevin Altieri did direct the most episodes of Batman the Animated Series at 22 episodes.
Right on.
Boyd Kirkland did 21 episodes, so he's right behind that. Frank Power directed 16, and Dan Reba directed 10.
Okay.
So yeah, and then there's a bunch of people that had like 9 and 8 and stuff. So, but I think with the names that we recognize the most, those are why we definitely heard recognize Altieri's and Kirkland's name a lot because yeah, they said they did 22 and 21 respectively. Yeah, so good respectable number for both those directors. So you know if you're doing a good job and get a produce a good solid episode and get along with the crew and stuff if you can get that many episodes out there and stuff they know you're pretty solid at that point.
hmm
So do you remember watching this episode when it and the your initial watch through when you saw the series?
Actually, no. I never saw this episode until we started rewatching the show for this podcast. I'd seen Heart of Ice like as a kid. I'd seen Sub-Zero, which we're gonna rewatch in a couple of weeks. And I had not seen this, so I thought for some reason Freeze had like escaped somehow because Arkham, you know.
Of course.
But then I was like, okay, so like he obviously found his wife was alive, and like I just kind of did like filled in the gaps from there. So I was like, oh, so there is kind of an interim between this and Sub-Zero. So I was impressed, and I was glad to see that we had at least one more episode of Mister Freeze because yeah, like I've said on previous episodes, like Mister Freeze was always my favorite Batman villain as a kid. And now that I understand that they wanted to give him justice and give him like an appropriate reason and a like fitting story for every appearance that he shows up in, that's where I'm like, okay, so now I see why you do need to have a story like this one to have his character appear. It's not just a gimmick, like, but what if it was cold?
Yeah, they could have made him like the villain of the week for this guy, and this that was like a one-off episode. But I'm kind of glad they actually gave him. Yeah, excuse me, I shouldn't be fucking eating while I'm doing this, but yeah, they actually gave him justice and gave him actually a good storyline and whatnot, and give him even though give him like a kind of a good motive to keep on going, but. As like we get to it later on, like I will make mention of it. Yeah, like would hit even if she did magically survive and like he was able to bring her back. Would she actually want to be back and be part of his life, knowing what he's done in term when she was done? But that's for a story for another time.
Mhm.
But yeah, and I don't know, and I was actually the opposite of you. I had seen this episode and there's original airings, but I didn't know about Sub-Zero until I had moved to Newmarket when I was working at the old station. Because like
Oh,
in the first like month or two I was working there, I was just I went to the Giant Tiger that was close by. I walked up there and just in the cheap DVD section or whatever, I was flipping through and I saw like there was like a double feature DVD of Mask of the Phantasm and Sub-Zero. So like, and I'd seen the Mask of the Phantasm caught my attention because we all know like how much I fucking love that movie and had it was well over that movie. So I saw that and I was like, the fuck is Sub-Zero? Yeah, so I was like, okay, I don't have a physical copy of Mask of the Phantasm at that point. So and it was like, I think it was like a $10 DVD or something like that at most. So I was like, fucking, I'll buy it. And then saw that. So that was yeah, I think that was like 15 years ago, with like 2000, like mid 2010, like during like that summer, like when I picked that up, and I was not aware of that movie like at all. Like I do know that it had existed up until that point, really. So and then picked it up, and we're glad I did because yeah, I remembered at the end of this episode, and it kind of tangentially like picks up from there and whatnot. So yeah,
hmm
so it was pretty good.
yeah. So this episode starts with I found it ironic because like as this robot is walking out of the like moat before Arkham, and like the guards are shooting at it. We see the one person who doesn't want to leave Arkham Asylum, Victor Freeze.
And too, I was thinking like I would probably like most jails, they're probably more built to keep like people in than to keep people out. But even though they probably do have to take in consideration like having like the members of the gang or who are friends or whatever trying to help break them out. But yeah, but it's definitely more to keep them in than keep them out. So you probably wouldn't anticipate like a huge even in Gotham, you probably wouldn't anticipate like a huge like free robot trying to come in and break somebody out.
hmm
I would think.
Yeah, this 8 foot tall robot comes in and like basically like wrecks the guards in like a matter of minutes. And Freeze is like, poking his head out the window and just kind of being like, oh shit.
I know just first he's like, oh, interesting or whatever, because he obviously at first he probably doesn't suspect
No,
that
at
they're
first
coming
he
for
doesn't.
it. Because it's not like he sent for somebody who was like, at some point, if I'm here for X amount of days, send for me or whatever, and I'll know what it means. Or he didn't piss somebody off like the last time before he got jailed this time. So it's not like okay, I got by my time until this person fucking decides to do something. But he's like, oh, then it starts to climb the wall and
Right
starts
up to
like
his window.
he has like the little uh thing like you see like in a submarine or a porthole almost sort of thing because obviously it needs to keep the cold in other than just having the bars in there. So he starts press on the thing like guard. So he actually looks so he's like looks like kind of scared for once and yeah, and the robot just comes in and like just like stuffs him in the stomach and runs off or whatever.
hmm
And I think that's when I think we just cut to the Batcave,
hmm
where they're kind of looking at this, talking about him him being being kidnapped, or I guess the initial thing was I guess he has escaped, and Batman was like, even for a guy who said he's like devoid of emotion, look at look at his face as he's getting like right before he gets put into the robot's stomach, he actually looks scared, and I know all these guys, and like I try my hardest, and I can't fucking scare this guy. So what the fuck? So if this robot's scaring him, something is definitely up.
Yeah, like Victor Freeze has kind of like Kevin McAllister face on.
Yeah,
And Robin's like, I think he's faking it. It's like, you think he's faking it?
yeah. Hey, you forgot who you deal with? Yeah, this guy's not the Joker. Yeah, this guy has no fucking emotion.
Yeah, exactly. So Robin's like, well, if it's a robot that took him, we should probably go to the one guy who knows all about robots, Carl Rossum, the guy from back in the Hardak episode.
Yeah.
And that's where I did not expect this cameo.
Yeah, no,
Batmite shows
yeah,
up.
like I definitely when I first watched this for a handful of times, I 100% would have gotten the reference. I like probably as I said I've seen this episode before, but but yeah, as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh yeah, fucking Batmite.
Yeah.
But in this version, it was just a little flying robot-y thing or whatever. He's like, oh, I can never get this thing to fucking work right. And I'm like, yeah, it's yeah, nice little reference, yeah, because he's a little fucking yeah, yeah, you've seen Superman already, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So that's slight spoilers here, like yeah, like how they how he makes reference to like interdimensional imp, like well, him and Lois were having that conversation, and you see like the other Justice Leaguers or the Justice Gang fighting the glowy fucking whatever the fuck it was,
The space
and like
jellyfish.
yeah, exactly, yeah, it almost looked like fuck. Shit. What was the thing in the second Suicide Squad movie? Starro is like almost
Oh yeah.
Starro-ish. And then like and then like you can tell Lois is like the audience, and like at one point she's like, "Don't you think we should fucking deal with this?" And he's like,
They're
"No, they
cool.
got it.
They
Yeah,
got this.
they got this, man. I don't like." Uh,
Plus, it's Guy Gardner. I kind of don't care if he
Yeah, like
dies.
fuck it. Yeah, it made me think of that like clip and stuff where it were just like where like it's one of the animated series things where you're like, yeah, you know, we could we could go for like a third guy like Guy Gardner's here and there. The other two were like, no, but no.
Oh my gosh. I'm so glad that we have Nathan. Oh, why am I blanking on his freaking name?
Fillion.
Thank
Nathan
you,
Fillion.
Nathan
Yeah.
Fillion as Guy Gardner. Because, like, yeah, like there's that part of me that wanted to see him as Hal Jordan, and he's played Hal Jordan in like animated
Yeah,
roles.
yeah, but
But this is so much better. Like, this is the
yeah.
right balance
Yeah,
of
that
clown and douche.
yeah, which not to insult him, he does really well, yeah, and then have him have that fucking stupid ass haircut as well.
Yeah.
So it's just icing on the cake, yeah. So
Oh yeah. So yeah, we gotta pick a little
I like
cameo of
I
Batmite.
sorry, I like how Lois calls out the fucking stupid ass haircut in the movie too.
Yeah,
Sorry, but sorry, I talked over you.
no, it's all good.
I
I'm
didn't hear
used to
what
it
you
by
said.
now.
No, I just need to point out that yeah, that they fucking made reference to that stupid ass haircut. So sorry, go ahead. You said
Yeah, so we get this like fluttering Batmite kind of come out of the office of Carl Rossum, and like Robin's like, "What the hell is this?" And then it like just malfunctions, and just kind of like goes like, "I'm your biggest fan. I'm your biggest fan. I'm your biggest fan." Like a really like Looney Tunes kind of inspiration. Which is WB. I'm sure that was definitely on the table. And the other thing is, I don't know if you caught it in the background, but as we're seeing like the inside of Carl Rossum's, like I guess he calls him like, yeah, I'm not in the robot business, but I'm making toys, I guess. But it's like, but then if you're not making them, then you're for profit or for a toy company, then why are you making? You know what? Maybe I'm asking too many questions here, because we get cameos of Crypto the Super Dog, Streaky the Super Cat, and Mister Mixes Picnic, who is also very much like Batmite.
yeah. I think he showed up first for Superman, and then they did like the Batman specific one for Batman. I think I
Mhm.
could be wrong, but I believe that was the case. Yeah. So, and I wonder did they stop at Batmite with that, or did they continue? Does like Wonder Woman have her international imp version? Do you know?
That's
Or
a good
like
question.
or like Aquaman and stuff? But I feel it's probably just the two, and they're like, okay, yeah, this is a dumb fucking idea, so we're stopping doing
Yeah.
this.
I feel like it's definitely golden age to
Yeah,
silver age. So I
yeah,
feel like
yeah,
that
but
would have
yeah,
been where they kind of capped it.
yeah, I think yeah,
Unless like there's really a demand for like, no, we want more weird shit. Like,
because it definitely sounds like a Morrison thing that he probably they would have
yeah,
ran with
Morrison
that
would
if
do
they
that.
or if or done like more or something like that. So I guess we should I'll look that up later. Probably one of my late in this, so I'll probably think give me time to look that up here. So we'll find out in a couple weeks.
Yep. So yeah, Carl Rossum's like like hi Batman, like what's up? He's like Arkham Asylum just had a robot break in and kidnap Mister Freeze, and of course we're the first guy that we're gonna go to and ask questions about it. So he's like, "Well, I don't make that stuff anymore. What did it look like?" And they have like a kind of like just police sketch drawing of it, and he's like, "Oh, I made a prototype of this, but it was like much smaller, and gave it to Grant Walker." But that's as far as my work went into it. And Robin says, Grant Walker, the guy who owns all those theme parks. And he's like, yeah, why would a theme park guy want a guy who wants to freeze stuff? And so this is where he realized that Grant Walker is a metaphor for Walt Disney. And they're not really subtle about it.
So, I wonder. Right, wonder if there was like actually like any truth to him having actually being frozen, or if it's just the urban legend that just fucking ran with, because it'd be like it sounds like something that like an eccentric millionaire would do, but because one of those things you're like, oh yeah, it's would seem like it they do, so just everyone like believes it, like the what is his face, Richard Gere hamster thing or whatever.
Oh yeah. Well, the thing is like, why would Disney be the one guy who does it? Like among all the rich people who have just gotten richer over the span of like,
Yeah.
how long has he been dead? Like, 50 plus years?
Yeah, something like that. And too, like that's the thing, like uh, yeah, like our like the human body isn't meant to be be frozen. So even if it's done like say like yeah, that's why we like frostbite kills and fucking kills off the body and shit, because they're not meant to do it. So there's even if it's like done like with under a watchful eye of like medical stuff, like it's you're not gonna be able to like unfreeze your body to like fix whatever malady like happens to you in like 100 years or whatever, unless they also figure out how to like fix all your cells in your body to like be frozen for that while. So like
At
that's
what point is cloning not the easier option? Like,
that would yeah I put yeah that would like make more sense to do, because like obviously like that cloning stuff will happen. So but yeah like that seems like the more the sci-fi thing to do, yeah, instead of like yeah the but I don't know. So like the even like the idea of like yeah cryogenics in that sense doesn't I didn't really that doesn't really make, but of course so too I'm not like I'm a scientist, so I could be wrong, and they could the way they do it could do it like right or whatever, but I don't think that's the thing. So unfortunately we can't pull a fry and wake ourselves up in 1,000 years and have like a robot friend, as much as I want one.
yeah, I think we can still get you a robot friend. I'll just get you a Roomba.
Yeah, but hey, we can't. I can't drink with a Roomba though.
It's not my problem. I can get you the friend. You have to figure out what you can realistically do with it.
Fine, I guess.
Yeah. So Grant Walker is yeah, it's this theme park billionaire, and he's like I guess like been a cutting edge of like a lot of technology, because he's got like a lot more robots than even Rossum had. He's got like robots all over his park, Oceana. So fun production note here: Oceana is also the name of the fictional country in George Orwell's novel 1984, and you can definitely feel a little bit of like Orwellian kind of influence on this like screenplay, right down to like when like Grant Walker shows up on like the Jumbotron, he very much feels like Big Brother.
Yeah, and that in that dome city off the which you know you think even in Gotham City you think people would notice like a like a huge ass friggin' dome city being set off like off the coast, or like or do you think this is like a coast or like a gulf like a sort of thing that they're in? Yeah,
Yeah, they didn't notice Emil
like
Dorian's rainforest island with
yeah,
Tigress.
yeah, so like wonder if that's like 1,000 island seal, or just I have like a bunch of like islands. It'd be hard to pinpoint. Yeah, so it's kind of like a, or it's like yeah, or what's his face and the man with the golden guns, little fucking layer. You just pick one of the small islands that you can't really
Hmm.
notice. So you just anyway, which I will still say is like one of my favorite Bond movies, because you have the great Sir Christopher Lee as the as a villain. And,
AKA the real James Bond.
yeah, yeah, 100%, yeah. Which I think they, yeah, I think the writer of Bond is the name of this is escaping me offhand, but
Ian
I
Fleming.
think Ian Fleming. There you go. Yeah, I think he did say that he did loosely base it off of him. I think, right?
Among a couple of
Yeah,
different
like
people, but he was
yeah,
among them, I think.
yeah. So it's not just like he is like the real life version of it. He is like at least part of the basis of him. Yeah. And then I think we've I've mentioned a few times before, like on, on the stuff he's done. Yeah. So if you don't know the awesomeness of Christopher Lee, figure, yeah, you've probably heard it before or look him up because he's basically done all the cool stuff.
Oh yeah.
I like the one where he like got permission from like the king of Sweden to marry his daughter, but just said like, nah, I'm not doing it or whatever, or one of those countries or whatever.
He turned down a
Yeah,
king
I think it was Sweden.
boss.
I think I want to say Sweden, but yeah, he's like like they're like dating or whatever, and then like he got like the permission. The king was like, yeah, he could or whatever. Then just I don't think it came to about.
That would be amazing. That conversation of like, you have made a very powerful enemy. Powerful enemy. I've helped I've helped topple empires. I've actually killed people. Who's the powerful enemy here? Oh my gosh. Yeah, so what happens next? Oh yeah, so Grant Walker is like brought Victor Fries to his place in Oceania, and yeah, Grant Walker is this like elderly guy with a cane and yeah, like white hair, mustache. I'm like he is very much in terms of appearance a mix between Walt Disney and Howard Hughes, and in personality I'm gonna say like more of a deranged Walt Disney, but also like Brian Johnson, who we've talked about with Rivers a couple of times.
I was definitely thinking,
Yeah,
this, I look him up. Definitely forgot the name, but I was like, how do I forget Frank Brian Johnson? Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, definitely why I was trying to pull a him and live forever. But like then I think recently I read that I didn't go at deep either. That actually may have like aged him faster, like all the
Oh,
shit he was
there's no
doing.
May. It's definitely aged him faster.
No, I just say Maze because I didn't read the story on it because I was like, sucker. So
Cue my Bill Hader impression. Oh, that's terrible.
I fucking love Bill Hader.
Yeah, man. So, what happens? Yeah, he's like USA. He's like,
No, I was gonna say, like, do you ever hear that part like where he was like the PA for like on that Eraser with the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie?
no.
And then like Schwarzenegger came up and asked him something that he's like asked like who like somebody was or something that he's like, oh, I don't know, but I could go find him. He's like, yes, yeah, go show me your leadership capabilities and find that person for me. Yeah, like Arnold Schwarzenegger said, saying to him, yeah. So so it would be like he's like, okay. Thanks for the vote of confidence, Arnold Schwarzenegger, but I think you're taking this a bit too seriously.
When has Arnold Schwarzenegger ever taken anything unseriously?
I know. I think that's why True Lies and Last Action Hero work so well for me because people like I think he was like at least with True Lies he was kind of like in on the joke or whatever. So so he's able to play it well and
Yep.
I fucking I love both those movies. I said like those are two of the three like top favorite like Arnold movies.
Hmm. And so, what the other thing about Walker, just kind of reminder of like why I brought up that reference to the intro is he's voiced by Daniel O'Herlihy. He's the old man from RoboCop. That's all you need to know. And so he's like, Freeze is saying, "Why did you bring me here?" He's like, "Well, like you're a man of great talent," and like he even gives like Freeze like his own like Mr. Freeze suit back, and like replicated from the original designs. And Freeze is like, "Why shouldn't I just kill you?" And he's like, "Oh, don't, I'm an old timid man." It's like, no, you had an evil smile on your face a second ago. But he says, "Do you realize that with your condition, you're essentially immortal? And I want you to replicate that accident and make me immortal." And Freeze is like, "Are you friggin' kidding me?"
He's like, I give up like 1,000 of my frozen years for your worst day.
Yeah. And he like picks up Grant Walker by like the scruff of his neck. He's like, just like, you want my life? Do you know what it's like to have frostbite on your genitals? I'm hard in all the wrong ways. And he's like, I'm not doing it. And he's like, sucks to suck. You're gonna die like everybody else, man. Well, except for me. I guess I'm gonna live forever. Not that he wants to. And Walker says, "Oh, I think I have something that you might want." And that's where he's like, "Behind curtain number one," and that's where he's literally got a curtain. And he like presses a button on his cane, and that's where we see Nora Freeze in.
Nora.
Yeah. So this was, I guess, where the writers decided, well, what if Nora was alive? So as it's revealed in passing dialogue with Grant Walker, he was an investor in GothCorp, and I guess somehow was able to, get in time to, keep her alive and, like move her over to Oceania.
Yeah, because it was assumed that she was consumed in the fire or whatever, like that destroyed the building. And he said that like yeah, they thought that, but I was but yeah, because I'm an investor, I was able to go in and find her and move her out before anyone else was able to notice her, sort of thing. So, but yeah, so do you think how long do you think it was in like the timeline within the series was from then to now, sort of thing? And do you think like he did that just in case he could use Mr. Freeze like for something, or do you think he had this specific plan like this whole time?
A very good question.
Like, because I guess it would take because I guess building the that dome city probably would take a little bit. So I guess he may so he may have had the thought. So I guess in the span of time, I guess between when the fire happened and the beginning of the build of the city, I guess.
I'm gonna say, I mean, like we don't know how long the origin of Mr. Freeze was till the main events of Heart of Ice. So let's say, I don't know, like 6 months for that, and maybe like a year up to this. So let's say something between a year and a half to 2 years.
Okay, yeah. So I guess yeah. So I guess you could that could be like, hey, well, yeah. Because I guess you're not going to really build your dome city and then be like, oh yeah, and then I'm going to freeze everybody.
Hmm. Well, he's also got robots too, right? And you know the great thing about robots, they don't take breaks, they don't ask for, bathroom time, they don't need
Uh,
to sleep.
no, no, they just say, oh, I need to occasionally sleep with one of the other shipmates and tell a story of it and how it go with a little cat and he'll be fine.
Yeah. So he's like basically saying to Freeze, like, I'll give you your wife if you, like complete my work. He's like, all right, I see you're driving at, so I'll give it a shot. So as this is happening, Batman and Robin are in the Bat boat, and I laughed when like they're talking about Grant Walker, and like you realize like they're going to this like Oceana theme park. I think Robin says something like like what's up with this guy Walker? Like thinking that he can just like take Freeze out of Arkham, and Bruce is like. Men like Walker think that the rules don't apply to them. They think that they're above the law. You mean billionaires, Bruce?
Yeah, I know because that's how I think.
Yeah.
And then too, like I was thinking, like yeah, they like one of like Walker's men saw like the bat boat on the radar coming up, and you would not think with that like you would not have like a Tomorrow Never Dies style like stealth boat.
Hmm.
Kind of like because you would think with that with the design of it and like the bat plane, both are like look stealthish, and you like have the money to be able to be like steal the the schematics of all and how to be able to get the materials to do both.
Yeah.
so,
Yeah.
so
It's stealthy until Batman wants to show off.
until the plot necessity, they're like, okay, that this time they need to know that we're coming, or we want to scare them. So press unstealth button.
Yeah. By the way, did you like the shark torpedoes?
Yeah, that was my next note right after the stealth boat note was the shark they're sharkpedos.
Yeah. Once again, there is no need for this, but it's just
Yeah,
like,
no,
why
well,
not?
actually, no, just say because because actually, I guess Shark Week on Discovery does officially start today on the day of the recording.
Oh, no way.
So.
That's funny. Does that mean that a lot of people are going to have a Chandler Bing moment? Don't judge me. I miss Matt Perry.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they blow up the Bat boat and think that Batman and Robin are dead, but of course they're not. They just
What?
like
They're not?
ejected. Yeah, no, this is series finale.
Foiled again.
Yeah. So they've got like scuba gear and like they're like kind of breaking into the, the Oceania like from the underground. And so that's where we see like all these people are like kind of getting marshaled into Oceania. It did have like a bit of a Moonraker vibe to you. It kind of reminded me of that.
A little bit,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, because
uh,
like Grant Walker's definitely a Bond villain. Like as we see as things are progressing forward.
yeah, wasn't one of them like a like an ocean city too? I think is
Oh, it
that the
wouldn't
way?
shock me.
I think is that the one with the Lotus submarine car boat?
Maybe.
I think that
Was
I
that
want to
Doctor
say.
No?
No, 'cause Dr. No was the first one to show
Yeah.
Sean Connery. Yeah, so that yeah that he was just on an island in the
Okay.
Caribbean. And
Gotcha.
then,
Okay.
but yeah, I think I want to say like the Lotus submarine car was either one of the two Dalton ones or a later fuck, why am I blanking on his name? He was like
Roger
the man of
Moore.
the gold, the man, yeah, Roger Moore. I think
Yep.
it might have been one of the later Moore ones, maybe.
Okay. Yeah, maybe. I don't recall, but it wouldn't shock me. That's not out of the realm of
Yeah,
possibility for the old school Bond.
yeah. So yeah, I thought, yeah. I'm fairly certain. Yeah, like they, one of them was like a the similar city, but the main goal wasn't to freeze the world, which I never got like why like he was wanting to freeze the world.
Ooh, Grant Walker?
Yeah, because yeah, because like I know he's like he was setting up in Mr. Freeze just to live longer, but I guess like so it was his plan to to Mr. Freeze everyone else as well, so like people there could like live outside, or there was just here you would keep everyone there and then be like, ah, suckers, I'm the one that could go outside because I'm Mr. Freeze like.
Well, this is like the mentality of like people like this, where it's just like, no, I'm the designer of all perfection and utopias, and therefore everybody else is wanting to verge in on my vision for the perfect world. So therefore they must die. It's like I have to hoard everything, and you all must, be brought to the edge, if not the complete finality of extinction, because it's my world, and you're just lucky to live in it. Because yeah, he's like, I'm gonna build like I've got a ice cannon, and I'm gonna like visas. It really is like Batman and Robin, like the kind of like stemming of like that like
Yeah.
movie storyline, where it's like to quote Arnold, first Gotham, then the world.
Well, actually, if anything, I think it would like the movie would have taken the idea from the show, yeah,
Oh, that's
because
what I'm saying.
yeah, because that was like what 97, I want to say
Yep.
when that movie came out. Yeah, this is like what 94. Yeah, so
Actually, in the production notes, it says like Joel Schumacher like definitely took like inspiration from this episode.
yeah. We just gotta gay it up a little bit though.
Hey, as I pointed out on what Terror in the Sky was it? Apparently, bats having nipples is scientifically accurate, especially if they're male. I have nipples, Bruce. Can you milk me?
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
Yeah, I know you like that. So yeah, he's making his whole like evil speech, and like basically saying like oh, it's all right though, we'll be toasty warm in here, like basically like you'll help me like repopulate the the people. It's like Yeah, something tells me you're gonna have more access to one of the one side of that group, but I don't know. I'll leave kind of that to your imagination. So he said like his whole evil speech, and like Batman and Robin are just kind of like, like we got to stop him, and that's when like the robots, like he's got these like helicopter. I don't know how to describe them. Like the
like like
robot.
like like little drones, but
Yeah,
like the yeah, helicopter like at the top or whatever.
drones with arms. Yeah, like that. They actually do kind of look like big tops.
I think like were there similar ones in the Ninja Turtles like cartoon?
Oh, probably.
Am I thinking this I think might be the similar-ish style thing I want to say. Oh,
Yeah.
I think if or I just be or I'm just thinking this having a memory of this episode from like back then too. So maybe or it could just be, but I think I think they're similar ones in that
Yep. So as they're getting caught by Walker's robots, they get brought in front of the screen, and you know, he's like, "Why is it that every time I make a theme park, there's always gate crashers?" Did I ever tell you that I quote accidentally broke into Six Flags? We were back in I was like a teenager in this like so statute of limitations.
Teenager.
Yeah.
That
Um
was this was last week, folks.
yeah. So I remember we were going like to this like big thing down in the suburb of Darien Lake, and there was like a side entrance. Like again, like this shows like the security of theme parks, because there was a side entrance that we had access to because we were there for this festival. And okay, I want to say this was my dad's idea. Like this is not my idea.
My dad's idea.
It was his idea. And when the lawyer calls me up, I'm going to say it in the deposition. And so he's like, we're going to go like to the Superman ride, and like we'll kind of get there early. So he sees the entrance is like just left open, and we get there. And we're just like walking through the park. None of like, like those booths like they got at Wonderland, like none of them are open. So I even said, and I will say this in the court of law if ever called upon, Dad, I don't think we're supposed to be here. He's like, that's all right, keep walking. And we managed to chat it up with the guy who was like friends with the company that did the Jumbotron for like the festival we were at. And so we got to, because we were going to the Superman ride, or as it's called now, the Ride of Steel, because of copyright. And when we got to the front of the line, we just saw like a bunch of people on the other side of the gate, like 60 people in the scorching hot heat. And two security guards are like, "What are you doing here?" And that's where like my dad thankfully got bailed out by the guy with the Jumbotron company, and it was basically like, "No, they're with me. I've got like this pass." And it was like, "You do realize like we just dodged getting arrested?" Like,
Or just kicked out of the park. Yeah.
probably, yeah. So yeah, I just thought like I'm never gonna have a better opportunity to share this story except that moment there.
Nice.
So Batman's like to Walker on the screen, like like you're insane. You're like you're gonna kill everyone, and he's like, so. And
Except for the people I want to keep not killed. So all the hot chicks. I mean,
yeah, it's not my fault if all the poor die. Like you're the one with the cannon. It is absolutely your fault. So he's like, like take them away, and like hauls them down to like the sub basement, and that's where they see Mr. Freeze. They're like, Freeze, you got to help us. Walker's insane. And he's like, yeah, if you haven't figured it out, I'm on his side. I'm like, ah, shit.
or more so, I just don't care about your side. Like I don't
Yeah,
care. Like I got my wife. That's all that matters. I don't talk to me again in about 5 minutes, but I don't care about these people right now.
yeah, yeah. So they have the moment of like like Freeze trying to like recreate the accident. They've even got Walker in like his own kind of Mr. Freeze suit.
Yeah.
And he's like, it's gonna be like a painful transformation, and like you do hear him kind of go ah, as like the fluids are kind of getting pumped into him.
Yeah, because I imagine that just getting like frozen, like flash frozen, probably doesn't feel good.
It probably feels like he's in a bath of like dry ice.
Yeah, just like a like an ice back to tank.
Yeah. And so they complete the transformation, and that's where I kind of wanted like Freeze to either say, or he's probably thinking, "Wait a second, you got to keep your hair? What kind of grade A bullshit is this?"
Well, a billionaire is it's not his real hair, so it's probably just like
Yeah,
fake
it's the
fake.
Deadpool staple wig.
Yeah, like yeah, there's like fake hair plugs or whatever. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's probably what that is. Yeah.
the mustache is tattooed on his upper lip. And so he's like, "This is amazing. I feel incredible." You shouldn't be able to feel anything. Like, have you not heard of like cold makes you numb? Like,
I know the suit is a lot stronger than I thought or whatever. That he just kind of hits the chair that like the layout chair that he was on and just like crushes that and it falls to his side. Yeah, and he's just like ha ha ha, and then he like almost falls over because he's obviously obviously this is his first time cosplaying in a big suit, so he's not used to it and not used to it.
yeah,
And then like Freeze is like, yeah, it'll take you a while to get used to being like this now, but
I kind of don't care. Like,
he's like, you're done, so I got my wife, so fuck off.
yeah, it's
See you
like,
later.
thanks for my wife. I'm a peace out. And he's like, yeah, okay, whatever. You're like, like you have a place here in Oceania, but whatever. So as he's like, on his way back to his wife, like Batman and Robin are like frozen half solid with like Freeze's gun. And Batman's like, how could you do this, Victor? Like you're just helping a man like Walker. He's like, he has my wife.
Yeah, I think is this the time where he says like, how do you think she'd
Yeah,
you feel like once she's like unfrozen or cured or whatever unfrozen and cured. Yeah, how do you feel? I think she'll feel that you've helped Walker basically make that like freeze the world except for this portion or whatever. And
hmm
that's where you can finally like you can tell he's starting to actually think about that. Yeah, and he's like, hey, maybe that isn't a good idea.
yeah. Something occurred to me, and like I could bring this up in Sub-Zero, but I do want to get your thought. Did Nora know she was being frozen, or did Freeze do this like while she was asleep?
Yeah, no, I think I think like the her illness probably progressed enough that she was probably like unconscious or something like that. Yeah, so I don't think I don't think the freezing was consensual. I don't
That's
think.
my thing. Yeah,
Yeah,
like that's
it is my thing. And I think it's all him trying to save her than her wanting to. Like I'm sure she did want to fucking die from whatever illness that she had, but I think the freezing aspect of it is all him.
yeah. And what's
Yeah,
creepier is I'm replaying the Arkham games, and I have like the DLC with like the Mr. Freeze submission,
yeah.
and it's like like how long have I been frozen? It's like 10 years, and it's like yeah, I saw everything, and it's like oh no,
Yeah. It's like that. Fuck. What was that movie with Sylvester Stallone where he's in the future and
oh
with
Demolition Man,
Demolition Man? Yeah, kind of like that, where he says like he can see his wife like knocking on the glass, like asking for him, and they're like, "You're not supposed to do that. Yeah, like, you're supposed to be unconscious." Like, well, I fucking lived it and I saw it, so
yeah,
fuck you. So, but
yeah,
yeah, but that would be yeah, that would be terrible. Like a version of like locked in syndrome, and
yeah,
that'd be fucking terrible.
yeah. That would be like a living hell. Like
Yeah, 100%. You can really like totally conscious. You can't fucking do a thing, or you're just stuck. Oh,
yeah, so Freeze has like a change of heart because yeah, like yeah, I mean like when it comes to like his character, like Nora's the only person he cares about.
yeah,
And I like how even when like Freeze is on the quote good side, he's still a cold-hearted son of a bitch. Like
yeah. He's just getting what he wants, which is still not good.
yeah, because he like goes into as like Walker and his like scientist guy are like ready to like start the the ice cannon. It's like, oh, you decided to join us after all, and like he's just mercilessly like freezing everything and everyone. And he's like, "What are you doing?" It's like, um, "You're a piece of shit, and I'm
Yeah,
gonna stop you." Like,
fleas.
yeah, yeah, and like he freezes Grant Walker to the side. I just want him to go, Vic, I'm very disappointed. And he's like, like he grabs onto the controls, and were Batman and Robin really doing anything during this like finale? Like they were.
Yeah, weren't they still like in the block of ice for a bit?
I thought that
To,
freeze
for,
broke him out
oh yeah, that's right. He did that the night. Yeah, I've forgotten what they were doing.
because they don't really have any more agency until like the very last scene, which we'll get to. But Freeze is like, he takes his hand on the controller of like the like reactor, and he just like dials it up to 11. And Walker's like, "What are you doing? Like you're gonna blow it up." He's like, "I know." It's like,
Like that, like that's the point.
yeah. And he says like, "You may live forever, Grant Walker, but your mad vision for the world dies today." And then he like freezes over him, like he's like frozen right to like the side of the wall.
Yeah.
And I love how when he gets on the big jumbotron, and he basically says to the people like GTFO. And he gives them like a 5 second head start before the place starts
Yeah, he's
like
just basically
erupting
like
with ice.
he's like I'm going to blow this place up, so you better get the fuck out of here, or you'll go down like Waka.
Yeah, it's like, what did he say? Boom. Oh, that's what he said. And yeah, like they all start evacuating as the place is like starting to like build up with ice. And Batman and Robin are saying to Freeze, like, as the place is like almost empty, like, like we got to get out of here. And he says, "No, I'm staying with my wife." He's like, "You're crazy. Like, you're going to die here." It's like, "I've been dead a long time," or something, like she's the only chance I have in life. And Batman's like, "I'm not going to let you do that." Ties him up. It's like, Batman, like, come on, dude, like, get it. And so
It-
Freeze is like, "That's the least of your worries," and then freezes Robin solid. By the way,
yeah.
I love how Batman just like takes off his cape and puts it over Rob. Like, what is the cape gonna do, bro? He's frozen in ice. Oh, this will double as a burial shroud when I dump you in the sea. Like,
Nobody look at him. Nobody look at him.
why are you only putting it over my head? Shh. So yeah, Freeze goes back to Nora, and Batman gets him into like one of the evacuation ships, and like as like we see like Robin is like a like thawing burrito, like the bench of the ship. And then we see this city just go up in an icy mushroom cloud, which is pretty cool effect.
Yeah, they and then within that you see like Walker's little thing, block of ice that he's frozen in like sink to the bottom of the ocean, but he's still like alive in it and like conscious because you see him like screaming as it's like settling on the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I would imagine like the waters of Gotham is probably not cold enough to keep him frozen like that. So he's probably just gonna be frozen that for a while, and then it'd be like I would like unthaw, and then he'll eventually drown if he doesn't suffocate first.
Yeah.
What should you think would come first? Him suffocating or like thawing out and drowning?
I'm gonna say thawing out and drowning, because like with the pressure at the bottom of the sea, it's
Well,
gonna
well,
like crack
it was
that dome open and like flood in.
Well, that's the thing though, is it's just like off the coast of Gotham, so it's not like he's like out in like the like out in the middle of the ocean or something. So it's not gonna be like
I
crushing.
guess,
It's
but
not gonna be it's gonna be like a little bit more. So it's not like crushing depths at that point, really.
yeah. He's still
So
in the bottom of the
yeah, so I think yeah,
the
so I think
bay, like in the dark. Like he can't
yeah,
really
so
see what's going on.
so I think it'd be more so depending on where on the coast he is, or if because it would be like how like warm or cold the water is. So I think it would be that really, yeah. Because if it's like the Newark, New Jersey, like analog, then yeah, it's probably a little cool. But no, so but it probably wouldn't. But if it was like further down the coast, and it'd be like, then it'd be like, oh yeah, he's he's drowning for sure.
Well, and what's funny is like we cut to Dick, who's been like thawed out in like one of
In
like Bruce's bat
yeah,
cave back to
that,
tanks.
yeah.
And he's like, it's gotta suck for Walker being stuck in an ice cube frozen forever. So that means they know he's still there, and they're just like, we
They're
don't
like, fuck
care.
him.
Like,
That's not the billionaire out of my off the board, so you don't have to deal with him anymore.
he'll probably get eaten by a killer whale or something. Like,
Yeah, well, leave him out there for Killer Croc.
yeah. Yeah, so Dick says, but what about Mr. Freeze? Do you think that, like the explosion killed him? And Bruce says, well, if he is immortal, then, there's a good chance we might see him again. And that's where we have this shot of iceberg floating adrift in the Arctic wasteland. And we see inside that, like Nora is like in this kind of like air pocket with Freeze in front of her. And, like it's his hand reaching out towards her. It's a very, very heartfelt moment. And yeah, that's where we are left with Mr. Freeze until the events of Sub-Zero, which I can't friggin' wait to talk about.
Yeah, so that'd be fun. Yeah, so yeah, as I thought, since I watched it then like 15 years ago, I don't think I've watched it again since. So I think so it'd be good to watch that again. Yeah. So what would you give this episode out of five Frozen partners?
I'm gonna give it 4 out of 5. I thought it was good, like character piece for Mr. Freeze. I'm glad that we got at least one more episode out of him. Before the events of Sub-Zero, because it certainly explains a lot of the gaps. And yeah, no, it was cool to see an episode that I hadn't seen before. Animation was really good. And yeah, no, it was very retro style sci-fi, which I'm a big fan of. Yeah, no, I mean, it's no Heart of Ice, but it's a good second contender.
Yeah, I think I'll give this 4 out of 5 as well because we got Mr. Freeze episode very sporadically, and they're all really good episodes. So it's always good just to have one more before the heart of the Sub-Zero movie that's coming up. But yeah, I really, as I said, I really enjoy anytime he shows up. So I'll give it a 4 out of 5 as well. And all right, folks, that is the episode for this week. Thanks everyone's joining the Batcave and hear us talk about Batman at the animated series. Next week's episode is this season 2 finale and of the and like the finale of like the Batman the animated series proper. Because after Sub-Zero, we'll be getting into the new Batman adventures. And next week's episode will be Batgirl Returns. I almost said Batman Returns, but he's been in every episode, so him returning wouldn't be that much of a surprise. Realize more like Batman again. And you can follow us at Twitter/X at Beyond Backcast, on Instagram at Beyond the Backcast, and we are on YouTube now at youtube.com/at Beyond the Backcast. So give us a rate, review, and follow on there or wherever you listen to your podcast. Definitely help us out. I know where can we find you on the internet, Brayton?
You can find me on my podcast, Fandom and Folklore, where we talk about fantasy movies and TV shows and the fandoms that follow them. And if you want to find out more about Beyond the Backcast, go to our Instagram at Beyond the Backcast and look for our link tree. And you can find our Discord, the Batcave, where we talk about all sorts of Batman fun.
And on that link tree, we'll also find that we have a Twitch channel now as well at twitch.tv/Beyond the Backcast, because I'll be sporadically streaming the Arkham games, and starting with Arkham Asylum. I've done a couple streams on that so far, and depending on what my schedule is, I'll do that sporadically. So just give us a follow and you'll get the alerts when I go live. And you can follow me on Instagram at StunkChunkman. That is my personal account. And as I said, folks, thanks for joining us in the Batcave to talk about Batman at the animated series, and join at Beyond the Backcast. Goodbye, good chums. Kapow.